All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Movie Talks and Chill. We're your hosts. I'm Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
And in this episode, we're going to be discussing cop/police/detective movies.
Beto, Beto, Beto. What, the minions? The minions don't count? Come on.
If we were talking just about the criminals, then yes, they would count.
Yes.
Well,
So,
these are my minions.
so there's a lot of combinations of detective/police or cop movies. You know, you have your normal change of stuff we've talked a lot about in the past, like your Lethal Weapons, your Beverly Hills Cops. You have, then you go to detective style, you have like Knives Out, Clue.
Yeah. Clue.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a great movie, Murder Mystery. You know,
The sequel to Knives Out, The Onion.
Yep.
Glass Onion.
The Glass Onion.
Onion,
Yeah,
yeah.
Glass Onion.
And then you got that horrible remake of the Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah.
Never saw the original, but I did not like the remake that came out a few years ago.
But-
well, how do you know that?
Yeah. You don't
You gotta
know.
have a baseline.
The baseline is that movie is awful.
Well, and then you have, like, you know, your buddy cop films, which, even though a lot of people say, like, you know, Lethal Weapon, I really wouldn't call it, like, a buddy cop movie. I think it's a little more serious, but, like, what was it, The Other Guys?
The Other
Guys, Cop Out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of them out there. We'll get into all that stuff. But
Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch, yep.
You could almost have Die Hard as
Yeah.
because
Well, he partners up in the third one.
with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
That's one with Justin Long, too, right?
Oh no, that's the fourth one.
Is that the fourth one?
Yeah.
Him and your boy Kevin
Smith, yep.
No,
So-
the third one was they were running around. And it was like
All in New York
bombs were
City.
supposed to be in like schools or hospitals or something. And
Yeah.
Samuel L. was was the cab driver, I think, and he ends up just getting partnered with him.
Yeah, he gets stuck with him because and they make him do that thing where Bruce Willis gets naked and has to wear that cardboard sign that says
Yeah.
"I
Yeah.
hate the N-word," and
Yeah.
it's right in the middle of like Harlem or wherever
Yeah.
it was. It's like in the
Samuel L.
ghetto.
Jackson comes out of his shop and he's like, "Are you okay? Are you mentally ill? Those guys see you, they will kill you." And they see him walk up and throw a knife into it, and he's like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" I just recently rewatched that movie. It's my favorite one.
That is a good one. I do enjoy it.
I do like how in every iteration of Die Hard, the setting just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So in the first one, it's just Nakatomi Tower. The second one is Washington Dulles Airport.
Yeah.
Third one is all of Manhattan.
Right.
And the fourth one is all of New England. They're going from Maryland to Boston to New York.
Yep.
Or technically the whole of the U.S. I mean, because that's what they attacked that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the next one is just all of Russia.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, all right, how do we get bigger? And unfortunately, I think I don't think he's coming back for his career with his illness right now. But they could have eventually made it like Fast and the Furious. Okay, this time space.
Yeah.
Terrorists attack the moon base.
Yeah, they're gonna blow up the International Space Station.
I just want to hear how they would justify an NYPD officer being there.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, did he get a flight on Virgin for their first commercial line up there?
No, SpaceX.
Yeah, SpaceX.
SpaceX, yeah.
Well, what's Virgin? Like, Virgin has their line, too. I can't remember.
They did their first test flight before SpaceX, but I can't remember what it's called. Definitely not called Virgin Space. At least I hope not.
Well, that's not anymore.
Must shut up a car and playing David Bowie.
Now, which one was it the third or fourth one that it was Hans's brother?
Third.
That was the third one,
That's
yeah.
the third one. I couldn't remember which one it was.
It was
It's been a
played
while.
by Jeremy Irons.
Yes.
I remember Bruce Willis is like, "I heard you didn't even like your brother." He's like, "There's a difference between not liking one's brother and not caring when some dumb Irish flatfoot throws him off the top of a building."
Yeah. That's a big difference.
I mean, that's...
He's not lying. He's
yeah.
not wrong.
He's not wrong.
All right, so we'll kick it off. We kind of began a little bit. Do you have a favorite?
Yes.
Tell us.
It is The Departed.
Okay.
Oh.
That is a really good movie.
Yeah.
I genuinely didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. But spoilers for a movie that came out in 2009, everyone besides Mark Wahlberg dies. People just, towards the end, like the third act is everyone just tying up loose ends and killing everyone.
Alec Baldwin doesn't.
No, I thought he got shot by Jack Nicholson. in the raid at the end of the movie.
Oh, now we got to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, now I gotta go back.
Oh shucks, I have to watch an award-winning movie.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, life sucks sometimes.
Sorry.
But if you haven't seen it, Leonardo DiCaprio plays a Massachusetts state trooper going through the academy, but he has connections to the underworld. So when he graduates, he goes to the office. He's like, "You're not going to become a cop. What we're going to do is we're going to pay you $50,000 to go undercover for Jack Nicholson's syndicate." And what no one else knows is that Matt Damon, who was also in the academy at the time, currently works for Jack Nicholson. So he becomes a state trooper, and he rises up through the ranks, all the while feeding information to Jack Nicholson, who Leonardo DiCaprio is trying to take down. It's convoluted but amazing. And Alec Baldwin in his Boston accent is just to die for.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also just Mark Wahlberg. They're like, all right, you're a cop, but you don't give a shit. Yeah. He's in that meeting and they're talking about the undercovers. It's like, are we going to know the identity of your undercovers? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe go fuck yourself. And even that exchange he's got with Alec, he's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, how's your father? Oh, good. He's tired from fucking my mother. Like, what?
I just like when Leonardo tries to order some cranberry juice at the bar, and the guy next to him, he's like, my girlfriend drinks that all the time when she's on her period. You on your period? And he slams his head into the bar. The guy walks up. He's like, he's almost a guy you can't hit without talking to me. So get your ass back there.
He's not quite a guy you can't hit, but he's also
almost
a guy you can't hit. Yeah. But I'm going to make a ruling. You don't fucking hit him.
Yes. Yeah. So stop hitting him.
What are you drinking? Cranberry juice? What are you on your period? It just gives him a look like, really? Really? It's a natural diuretic.
Yes, exactly.
All right, what about you, Gav?
I'm gonna have to go with a classic here. I love the first Lethal Weapon.
Okay.
The meeting of Martin Riggs and Murtaugh. And to be honest, I would say the second one is probably my favorite because it introduces Leo Getz.
Joe Pesci.
Whatever you want, Leo Getz. Get it? You get it? Come on.
Okay.
I know this is a little bit of a controversy, but the fourth one is my favorite. That was the first one I saw in the theaters.
See, I don't mind it. It's not. I think they're supposed to be coming up with another one.
Yeah,
there's talks of like trying
them all back,
to bring them all back for one more. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind the fourth one because you had Joe Pesci and also Chris Rock stealing the comedy act, and Chris Rock was talking about what was it? He's talking about the floor.
Oh, the floor.
Like when that's the first rant he does. Oh. It's like I fell in love with the floor. Slept on the floor, ate on the floor. My best friend was the fucking dog. It's because they couldn't pick their head up because so many bullets flying in the neighborhood. I fell in love with that floor, and then they start getting at it with the cell phone.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Afghanistan. I don't know what a fucking Afghan look like, let alone talk to them for 8 fucking hours.
That's how they get you.
Yeah,
they get you. It's like the drive. They fuck you in the drive-thru.
I think the second one was where he starts the drive-thru one because they go for drive-thru.
Oh, is that where he said?
And he gets screwed up.
Yep.
Like if Martin and Riggs and Murtaugh, their orders got fine, but his was like messed up. He's like, "See, I told you, they fuck you in the drive-thru."
I just love in the movie. The opening scene is them taking down a guy with body armor and a flamethrower just torching a gas station.
Oh yeah.
And then Murtaugh takes off his clothes to like distract him while Riggs takes him down. And then flash forward a year, you could see the newspaper headline like on all the cubicles. Murtaugh's like, "Who keeps putting this shit up? Stop it!" And Riggs like, "This is your captain now. Don't do it again." And he just tapes it himself up.
Oh yeah. He's the one putting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was wasn't it the second one with the condoms? With his daughter, Murtaugh's daughter was doing the commercial. They were all proud of her. She never told him what it was for. It was like for Trojan condoms.
Yeah, they were all excited about the commercial, and they go, "Oh, all right, everybody out." Yeah.
And then he goes to work. He's like, "Man, it's never going to let up, man. It's going to be rubbers here. Everything's going to be rubbers. It's freezing, man." Now, I will actually go with, I think my favorite was the third one. Because that's kind of when they introduced with the what would be Riggs's wife.
Yeah.
Later on, that's her first entrance, and she was good for him, and and they go through all that stuff, and I love that they blew up that building at the beginning. That was filmed here.
Oh,
Oh, it was?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it was either Clearwater or St. Peter somewhere. It was
Awesome.
one of those buildings there.
Did not know that.
I think well
Somewhere
also,
somewhere around the area. I can't remember exactly where.
that was a hard one for Murtaugh because that one was kind of also highlighted like young violence and like excuse me.
Well, he shot that kid.
Yeah, that was his son's friend.
Yep.
But I mean, it was going to be either him or the kid or him.
Yeah, because he said, I remember the son, he's like, he's going to leave. He's like, have a good day, son. He's like, word, Dad. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Word, Riggs. Word, Murtaugh. He's like, what is that? What is
we
word?
what are we talking about?
He's like, word.
Word.
4 letters, begins with W, D at the end, or in the middle. Word, Riggs. Word, Murtaugh. And also, this one I can't remember on that. So the third one, was my favorite one. But which was it, the second one or the third one? With the bathroom scene where he has the bomb underneath the toilet.
That's the second one. So they're because that's what was happening. It was they were getting too close.
Was it the second or was it third? Because he was looking to retire.
He was looking to retire in the first one.
Well, he was,
Yeah.
but I'm saying he was all. I think he was all getting ready for retirement. But you may be right. I can't remember off the top of my head. But
you're thinking about the third one because that's when they have because they're doing the remodel after the bathroom deal.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they end up he's one of the guys he ends up killing like with a nail gun in the remodel place.
That's right. It's again been a long time since I've watched any of those, but I just love that whole thing.
In the fourth one, Leo's trying to sell it. Oh no,
Yeah.
that is the third one. Is when Leo's trying to sell it.
Yes.
Because in the fourth one, he's a private eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always has a different career.
Yeah.
in every movie.
Each movie he changes his career.
Well, money laundering wasn't going out too well for him.
Yeah. Well, he became an informant, so.
But, in the TV show, they actually made Leo Gets a lawyer. Like he was, basically like a low-paid but shyster, basically. Like he was really fast talker. He kind of knew the law, but like he was the guy you went to when like you needed someone a little bit on the dirty side.
So like Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
Someone call Saul.
Maybe not as dirty as Saul Goodman.
Maybe not as dirty.
It's all good, man.
Saul good.
Man. All right, so you got the Lethal Weapons.
All right, Tony.
We got Departed there. I mean, there's so many of them out there. I mean, I have Lethal Weapon is up there for me. Obviously, Die Hard's great too. I mean, Beverly Hills Cop is probably ranked up
Solid.
there.
And they're coming out with a new one soon.
Yep. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's in his 60s. I don't know how well he's going to be able to do this role anymore.
He switched over so much, and there's nothing wrong with it. So much of the family stuff because he had kids,
Yeah.
And I'm so used to him now as like family Eddie Murphy, and he's trying to
Like
kind of
Dr.
go back
Dolittle.
to like raw Eddie Murphy,
Dr.
back in the
Dolittle.
original
Right, yeah.
Nutty Professor. I mean, he was what was that other one? He did the Haunted Mansion one.
Yep.
The
first one. Yeah, that one was crap. But the new one that just came out, I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it.
I liked it. But those are, I would say, on the serious end of movies, I would say I would go with that. As far as, since we said it's kind of also like detective or mystery type movies, Clue is definitely up there.
I
on
love
tops.
Clue.
And if you want to go comedy, even though there's so many out there, this one is one of John Candy's most underrated movies that he did as a kind of a private eye. It was Who's Harry Crumb.
I think I saw that when I was a kid. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
It's phenomenal. I loved it.
I think it's on Prime right now.
Is it?
I think so.
I think it's on the Plex server too.
It's just a good movie. It's just funny.
And not to be confused with Kevin Wendell Crumb from
Yeah, not that one. Kevin Wendell Crumb. But I mean, there's so many out there. But I'd say Beverly Hills Cop because Banana in the Tailpipe.
I'm not
gotta love
gonna
that.
fall for the banana tailpipe.
Yep.
Hey man, you've been hanging out with this dude too long. You gotta come from the. Hey man, I'm gonna fall for no banana in my tailpipe.
And it was either the first or second one where his captain's always yelling at him. I'm talking about his captain in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And there's one in the first or second one. He's like, Captain, I was just thinking. Don't think, Axel. It makes my dick itch.
Yeah.
I think that's on the first one.
That's the
Why
first
you
one.
would even why would that make that happen?
Yeah.
But,
Why is that a thing?
Like when you're frustrated with someone else's thoughts. thoughts.
But I do like in the second one, they're in the beginning they're undercover driving a Ferrari, and then Axel has to go back out to California. He's talking to the captain. He's yelling at him over the phone. He's like, "Here, talk to your partner. Oh, by the way, he crashed a Ferrari." You see Paul Reiser in like a leg cast and like an arm sling. He's like, "Axel, this is what it happened." Click.
He hung up.
He hung up. Yeah, that was a weird matchup there, because even though he didn't have a huge part in the movies, having Paul Reiser
just there.
Well, in the first movie, he was only in it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and this one he wasn't in it.
Well, he
that
helps
much.
him out too for like, because he takes that call as his captain the next day. No, that's the second one.
Yeah.
Is when he takes that. He's like, "Do you have a Jerry?" Yeah. Jerry Wishbone. He's actually undercover. He's some secret FBI task force. I don't even know what the hell he's doing.
The arms dealer in those movies had more of a role than Paul Reiser did.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it was, if I remember, I think it was the second one, the second Beverly Hills Cop, where it was...
Where they go to the Playboy Mansion?
No, it was the one where the one chick in there, is like that. She looked like from the Eurythmics. Like she had that hairdo, if you remember. She had that like blonde hair straight up and then pushed back this way.
Oh, okay.
She looked. That's what she always reminded me of the Eurythmics.
She was the tall blonde that was Ivan Drogo's wife.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything he punched, he killed.
Well, if we switch gears a little bit, let's talk about a really bad cop movie.
Okay.
Hurricane Heist.
Hurricane Heist.
It's so terrible, I've never heard of it.
I don't think I've heard or seen it.
I was so excited for this movie when I first saw it, because the trailer makes this movie seem like amazing.
How do you steal a hurricane?
I have no idea.
So basically, it's Treasury agents are about to destroy $300 billion worth of like discontinued money, and then somebody quote comes to rob it during. I think at this point, 600 miles an hour would be a Category 10 hurricane about to hit Alabama.
Okay, sorry,
because
Alabama.
They're like, the winds are at 600 miles an hour. And Cat 5 only goes up to 190. Jesus Christ. Like a superstorm. But so this Treasury agent has to stop the old money from being robbed, and she runs into a hurricane, like weather center hurricane tracker. So this guy had his parents killed by a hurricane when he was a kid, so he became a hurricane tracker. And he's got this car where he can like bolt down to the ground so the winds don't, flip it over. And they both just they go find his brother, and he's a citizen of Alabama, so he's got like a cabinet full of guns. So then they just go stop the Treasury from being robbed. But towards the end of the movie, they actually get the money on all the semi-trucks, and like the wall of wind that doesn't happen during a hurricane starts scooping them all. It's really bad. It's awful. The one thing I hate about this movie is during the trailer they played "Rock You Like a Hurricane" by the Scorpions, and it made the trailer seem like, my God, this is gonna be a dumb action movie. I really have to see this. Not once is it played in the entire movie. I was very upset about this.
And why is it that people are defining their careers by their parents dying from something in movies?
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne became a crime fighter, became Batman because his parents were killed by a bad man. That dude or chick or whatever it was, is it a woman or a man?
The woman was the Treasury agent. So
and the other guy was the hurricane.
The hurricane.
I'm sad because it killed my parents.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like in Twister.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so he has a PhD.
Sounds like Twister got mixed with
National Treasure or something. And, they're trying to find some money, and it's like, not everybody. If your parents die from something, it doesn't mean you make a career into that thing.
I would actually have preferred it if it was nominative determinism, like his last name was Hurricane or something like that, so he had to become a meteorologist.
Did you have to look that word up?
No, I've known about that word. I know some things, damn it.
You Googled it.
I did not.
I'm joking. He did not.
At least before the show. Anyway.
You knew what I was going to talk about today. And you're like, I'm going to get this all set.
Yeah, I'm psychic, so that's why I'm sitting here with you guys and not playing the lottery.
If you're psychic and can time travel, you're going to come right through that. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, if you're psychic,
no.
Were your parents killed by a psychic? Is that why you decided to become one? It's like...
They couldn't see it coming, so I wanted to see it coming.
But if you haven't seen it, you're not missing much. I thought it was going to be a lot, but it was just an awful movie.
Sounds amazing.
So if you've ever seen Lost, the show, the main star is the rich sister of Ian Somerhalder, his sister on the show. She's the lead actress in this movie.
Okay.
And she's the biggest name in the movie as far as I can tell.
All right,
Well,
so Hurricane Heist.
I guess.
Watch the trailer, you'll be excited.
Was it better than Tower Heist or worse?
You broke me with that question. I don't know.
It's the heist.
He's gonna be in his apartment, like put up all the notes and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
strings
he's got
and
the
everything, trying to
lines.
figure out everything.
Okay,
like-
okay, look at it.
So, like, all the plot holes with Hurricane Heist, it's like a mile long, and then the one plot hole from Tower Heist, cars in pool, how to get out. Like, I don't know which one's worse.
I just don't know. He's gonna come out with a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where you
because
been
of
for
my
the last
amazing,
3 months?
my amazing ability to grow facial hair. That'll definitely happen.
He's gonna be like, Tower Heist wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But I hate myself.
When you compare it to a really worse movie.
Well, now, if you want to know what a police drama should not look like,
Police Academy.
yes, that's exactly where I was going with that. All the greatness of police training without any of the drama.
You gotta love that.
Oh, dude, it was great when they get the station chief. When they
Which
he's
one?
like, it's the very first one where he gets the BJ while he's up there.
Oh
giving
yeah,
it-
the Commandant.
the
Lassard.
Commandant. That's, yeah,
Commandant
sorry.
Lassard.
And
Many, many wonderful things.
and who's the freaking cadet? I can't remember his name.
Which one?
The
They're
main
all
one.
cadets.
Steve Gutenberg.
Yeah,
Nah,
Steve
Steve
Gutenberg.
Gutenberg.
Yeah.
Well, like in
Mahoney.
the movie, Mahoney.
Yeah.
When he rolled, when
Well,
he
he's
rocks
the one
up
that he's the one that gets out from underneath. He doesn't see the prostitute get out from underneath.
Yeah.
He just sees him, and he's like,
well,
I don't know how to feel about that.
I love it when he's going up to the police academy. He just says "bun in the oven" with an arrow pointing down. That's the most Steve Gutenberg thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But also, I don't understand the premise. Like, if you have a criminal record, you cannot become a cop. So these people all got arrested and then said, "Hey, we can commute your sentence if you become a cop." Like that.
Well, because the whole thing,
Well,
I
it's the
think
80s.
yeah, and I think there was something about it where it was a new program they were creating.
Yeah.
And
It's been
Commandant
so
Lassard
long.
wanted to do it because it's always his ideas. Like when Citizens on Patrol came out, I think that was the fourth one,
Yeah.
third or fourth one. That was his idea too. It was Commandant Lassard coming up with all these. We got to have
Off
these
the
new
wall.
programs and
Yeah.
stuff. And Mahoney's thing was that he had been arrested by it was like same as the guy kept busting him. And
Yeah.
I think he's the one who got him to go in there. That was kind of like his punishment, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do remember I think his name was Hightower, and he falls in love with the fitness instructor. And they're both like meatheads, and like my God, and they both clean guns together.
No, that wasn't Hightower. That was Hightower was the big black dude. It was
somewhat.
what's it?
Slightly
It was the
big.
guy that was like all military. He
Yeah.
had he had
He
like
couldn't
a
make it
billion
in the
guns.
military, or
Yeah.
he was either retired.
Yeah, and I can't remember which one that was because there's so many of them. You had
The dude made all the sounds.
yep, Jonesy, and then
He's sitting there with the freaking with his razor.
when you had that smaller Asian guy, and remember he's the one that ends up at the girl's place.
Yeah. He ends
She's
up,
all like, she's all like, he opens the door. She just grabs and puts her head into his chest.
Is this what you want?
Move it.
Tackleberry.
Tackleberry, that's right.
Tackleberry, yeah.
Yeah, and that's Lieutenant Harris he had the riding crop too. Like that just seemed awful, dude.
Which one?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Harris who kept
yeah.
saying move it, but he
Yeah.
had a riding crop that
Well,
he
he
would
also
smack.
had that in Mannequin, which I don't know if there's like some kind of fan theory of because he lost if he gets demoted so much, he gets mall security.
Oh, if it's connected.
Yeah, because it's I think his character name is different, but I remember the dog's name is Rambo in there. Don't worry, sir. Me and Rambo will get him.
Ain't that right, Rambo? He's just sitting there sleeping. He's like,
Yeah.
you stink. You stink, Rambo.
I'm looking at the cast, and the villain of the movie doesn't even have a name. His character's name is Main Bad Guy.
There you go. Because I don't think they really were worried about
Yeah,
that.
there wasn't really it was the only thing that happened was just like a riot that went down. Wasn't like a main big bad.
But I think the
anything.
main guy caused the riot to do something. I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think it was just like a riot that went down, and they had to scramble them. They had to scramble the cadets because they didn't have the regular police force. That was why they were doing so many cadets. Was the police force, was getting so thin.
They always were so thin. That's why they kept pulling like that's why the whole Citizens on Patrol thing.
Yeah,
and that's I think what introduced.
It's all the budget.
Which one actually introduced Bobcat Goldthwait?
I think that was the second one.
I want to say second one.
Because he joined it in Citizens on Patrol, I believe. He actually joined them.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think you run into him first in the second one.
Yeah, because he's always with that gang and stuff that they would run into.
I don't think this is what we're gonna do. How in the world? How do you keep that up?
I'm assuming before they said action, he was off to the side. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
I don't know, man. I don't know if he was doing any of that. He's probably popping some ludes or something. It was still the 80s.
We found a new level.
Yeah.
Catatonic.
The comatose level. Skip right past the drool phase.
They've went past drool.
Yeah. Spaceball 1. They've went plaid.
So another one that I just recently watched movie was Bad Boys 2.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You ain't seen Bad Boys 2.
You stupid bastard.
Which was from Hot Fuzz, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
But Bad Boys 2, I've seen the first one, and I've seen all of them. But the second one has to be my favorite just for the bridge scene itself. Where the Ferrari is trying to catch up to the Haitians, and they're just dropping cars, and they even launch a boat that's on the highway. I like how Martin, he tries to flash his, but he's like, pull over, and they shoot at him. And then, Will Smith just, cuts the wheel, hits the e-brake, and then shoots him. He's like, now show him your badge, and then puts it in reverse. It's, one of the greatest action scenes I've ever seen.
And that was in the second one, you said, right?
Yeah.
Well, what I also like about the second one, obviously, you got to love the captain,
Joe
Fantolione.
Yes.
Woosah.
But in the second one, when he comes up after they do that chase with the corpses flying out of the cars... And he's like, I hate you guys. He's like, you wake up in the morning and be like, morning, man, morning. What's up? How you doing?
Going on?
Jeez, how can we fuck with the captain's life today? He's like, oh, look, over there. Let's throw some dead guys out and run them over. And he's like, Captain, those were not normal corpses. Like, if I ran over your head in a car, you wouldn't be normal either.
I also like how Martin's also trying to do the woosah thing every now and again. But when they take down the drug house, he's like, woosah, motherfucker. I'm sorry. I didn't mean you were shooting, he was shooting, I was trying. I'm sorry.
See, my favorite is two favorites. First is when they try to scare the boy.
Oh yeah.
Take the daughter out.
Motherfucker,
you look 30.
Who's that? No, it's Reggie. Who the fuck is Reggie?
Who the fuck is Reggie? Sorry, look, it's her uncle. He just got out of jail. Hey, don't be telling my business in a whole day. I ain't going back.
Chitty chitty bang bang, motherfucker.
Exactly. And then when Martin Lawrence ends up taking X at the mortuary, and they go to the captain's house. This is a nice fish. This big fucking eyes, but a nice fish.
I like when
he's licking his hand at the front door.
I like it when he gets out of the shower because they're trying to cool him down, make sure he doesn't overeat. He's like, I got an erection. Call my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
I got an erection.
Reggie. Who the fuck's Reggie?
Well, that's the cool part is in the third one, he actually marries a daughter.
Yeah.
So they finally I guess you are.
Well, the third one is when Martin Lawrence was leaving the movie series and they were transferring it. They were trying to set it up for Will Smith's character, Mike, and his kid to take over.
Michael Lowry.
Yep.
I'm a Mike Lowry.
I hear they're making another one, but I don't know. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
but I will say one last thing about that scene with the kid with Reggie. Is that last thing that fucking Will Smith says to him? He's just staring there. He's like, "You ever made love to a man? No, sir.
No, sir.
You want to?"
Well,
you keeping your pants. Ain't gonna be no fucking tonight.
Young little Thundercat.
Yeah.
You be smoking that shit, huh? You be smoking that shit?
No, sir. No, sir.
Quick little piece of trivia, and when they're driving in Cuba, they're driving that Hummer through like the compound and then through the slums a little bit. If you watch the driver's side rear view mirror, it breaks 4 times.
Nice. Well, maybe they fixed it real quick. Maybe a little toolkit in this.
Yeah, I can just see him pull over, stop firing, I gotta fix it.
Hang on 1 second.
I can't see properly.
Okay.
Time out.
Yeah, time out.
You can't call time in a driving fight, a gunfight. What's wrong with you?
My question is, the one thing that bothers me about that movie is they wind up just outside Guantanamo Bay, and then they just cut to they're back home in Miami. Are you saying that one of the most fortified naval bases ever just said, you know what, you guys can come on in, you guys seem like Americans and good guys. Yeah. I just didn't want you kill 2 people. Yeah. This will be fine.
They're cool.
Yeah, they were Colombians. They didn't care.
They probably looked at him and said, "Oh man, they're black. If we try to stop them, it's going to become a whole big race thing."
Yeah,
you know,
you
guys
guys
are
in the middle
fine.
of it. We'll,
You guys are fine.
Come on.
And what happens to the CIA guy that they brought with him, or the 2 squads
He
of SWAT
stayed.
officers?
What
Yeah,
you
they're all
talking
still in
about?
Cuba.
Yeah.
Yes.
Duh.
Yeah, they're all still in Cuba. Cuba.
It's a Cuba.
Cuba Cabano.
It's C-U-V-A. Cuba.
Cuba. Cuba. At the Cuba.
Cuba Cabana.
In Havana. I went to Cuba. That's in Havana.
Oh my God.
It's like, actually, Havana's in Cuba.
We're going to get shot.
I'm not worried about it right now. Nobody's worried about us.
Yeah, based on our listeners' numbers, we're fine.
So what'd you think about the remake of Miami Vice?
The one with Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx? I didn't watch it.
What?
Yeah, the movie didn't appeal to me.
I've never been that big on, making movies from shows. Because I don't think that... I mean, yes, they may be okay.
Except for the 18.
I mean, it was all right, but I mean, I still like... nothing will ever beat the TV show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that movie is better than the show. Come on, they fly a tank in the movie.
And yeah.
And my mic's cut off.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, no matter how wrong they are. But no, it wasn't a bad movie. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's kind of like Starsky and Hutch, 21 Jump Street, Miami Vice, like just trying to make the movie, because most of those shows were from the 70s and 80s, and it's like they had a certain kind of charisma and just had a lot of class and character to it that I don't think the movies can match up with. That's all.
I mean, that's fair. It's a fair point of view.
Although I do like 22 Jump Street.
No, I mean, it's again, they have their funny parts, but I mean, they made that into a total comedy, whereas the TV show was like actual drama.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, I get what they were trying to do, but in reverse, same thing. It's like making a TV show based off a movie. I still don't think they can... It was only... I don't know. It's like... I don't know. It's because the original Stargate movie, it was good, but... I don't know. It was kind of like it just kind of happened quick.
It needed a trilogy.
It's done. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't.
Probably needed a trilogy for it.
Well, that was their plan. So when Roland Emmerich did Independence Day 2, and they said if this movie does well, we'll think about rebooting the Stargate movies and making it into a trilogy. Problem is, I even went to go see the movie in theaters just to pump up the numbers a little. That movie was awful. It was a giant turd. And then he came out with Moonfall. Roland Emmerich has just been downhill.
Well, and I also want to be clear about
I love a couple of your movies, but get better.
I want to make a couple quick adjustments to the statement I made just so that everybody's clear about what I mean about between TV shows and movies and making them. If they involve the same people, so like Star Wars, Star Trek, stuff like that, those were shows and became movies and vice versa or whatnot. They involve the same people playing the same characters. That I don't mind.
Okay.
It's when you completely try to change the genre, like 21 Jump Street or something.
Yeah, that went full comedy. And
there is a running joke in the SG-1 series that the Kurt Russell's character in the movie is O'Neill with one L, and Richard Dean Anderson's character is O'Neill with two L's. There's even in like season 4, he's like, it's O'Neill with two L's. There's one O'Neill with one L, and he's a real stick in the mud, referencing Kurt Russell's character from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I thought it was a nice little...
Damn it, MacGyver.
They need to meet. They're gonna meet up. It'll be like a multiverse.
I think I do remember a story. Kurt Russell was filming in Vancouver where they shot the show, and he did stop on stage during the shooting of season 1.
Okay.
He wasn't in it at all. He just popped over.
You just said craft services, just eating like pizza and some burgers and stuff.
Excuse me, sir. Are you part of the show? I'm Kurt fucking Russell. Yeah, you can eat whatever you want. Thank you for please stopping by.
I'm Kurt Russell. Okay. Speaking of Kurt Russell, Tango and Cash.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If you want to talk about cop movies.
Look, our money with a badge.
Yeah. I love me some Tango and Cash.
Who do you prefer, Tango or Cash?
Cash all day.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm the investment guy. Just chill out.
Yeah, I like Cash.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I like Cash.
I did like his character. Like, he was a cop and he wasn't afraid to do the dirty work. Like in the beginning scene where he stands in front of the oil tanker and then shoots it, and everyone's like, "Oh no!" And then cocaine just starts pouring out. Like, see, I was right. But I like Kurt Russell as Tango in that movie. He's just like, "Rah! Let's just fucking do it."
Who shifted my sight? Did you drop it? No, I didn't drop it. Idiots.
Stupid. You're so stupid.
Well, when they get the when you get into the jail and that dude with the big freaking giant, you broke that jaw. I was having a bad day. Okay.
Gotta love the duos, man.
Well, another duo but this was like pure drama is just, and you didn't really see the unfolding of it coming, but Training Day.
Okay,
yeah. That was
a real serious one.
Yeah, very serious one. Going like, and it's literally just a day, start to finish.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I've seen it, but I'm not really that into those serious cop dramas. Like, you definitely need to be in a mindset for those kind of movies. And while that one was very good, and they all deserved every award that they got for that movie, it's not something I'm like hankering to go out and watch again.
So you're not going to run to see 7?
I've seen 7,
but you're not running to go see.
Not really.
Or The Departed.
I love The Departed.
It's pretty damn serious.
Every rule has an exception.
Well, technically, Silence of the Lambs is a.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more FBI, but it's still detective mystery.
I've already talked about treasury agents, so they weren't cops.
Well, the Zodiac.
The Zodiac
was very good.
I want to talk about Formula 51, but that movie mainly focuses on the criminal underworld and like trying to avoid the police that's trying to bring them down. So, have you guys ever seen it with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, Formula.
Yeah.
I have not.
Oh, it's Samuel L. Jackson and the kicker from The Replacements. I can't remember his name.
The Wiry?
Yeah, the Wiry guy.
I can't remember his
Nigel
actual name.
No, wait, that's his character in
He's Wiry.
All I can say about our one offensive weapon is it's wiring. What the hell does that mean?
Wiry. He's wiry.
Horseshit.
Yeah, I don't know his actual real name, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But if you haven't seen it, Samuel L. Jackson graduates with a doctorate in pharmaceutical toxicology. And but he gets caught smoking weed and driving a car in the 70s, which with a drug conviction, you can't work in pharmaceuticals whatsoever because you're working with, classified stage 1 narcotics. So then he becomes a chemist from the criminal underground, and he makes this brand new drug that'll blow everybody's mind. And what it is like, if you learn at the end of the movie, he's like, it's all placebo. Like, this stuff will test like it's the greatest stuff in the world, but you might as well be a Skittle. Like, it's the power of marketing. Like, when he demonstrates to the wiry guy, like, everybody's getting high in their club, like, oh my God, this is amazing. He's like, no, I just had a good sales pitch. It's all in their heads. And then he buys a castle in Ireland, or like the country of England, like the sticks of England.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. And he's just playing golf naked with a valet. He's like, will that be all today, sir? He's like, yeah, I think we're good for today. And then you just see Sam Jackson's bare ass walk off screen.
Nice.
Formula 51, it's a really good movie if you haven't seen it.
I think if I could afford to buy a castle, I would actually have a castle shipped over here. I'm not going to
brick by brick.
Yes. Stone by stone, moat and all. Bring the moat. How are we going to do that? That's
Don't worry about it.
Impossible. Dig underneath the moat, because eventually the moat stops. So you dig underneath that, you bring all the ground
Bring
up.
it all here.
Yep.
Water, fish, all of it. I don't
Did you
care
not
if
see?
I don't care if they won't survive in this climate.
Did you not see Superman Returns? There's a bottom to everything. Right? You literally lift it up. There's a bottom to everything. That's all I'm saying.
Wind up bringing an invasive species to the U.S. and decimating the ecosystems.
Oh, you
Sorry
mean
about
like
that.
everything else we've brought over here?
Yeah, that's
Jeez.
true.
Freaking murder hornets and
Murder
the
hornets.
kudzu.
And the python problem in the Everglades.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
We have an annual hunt for them. That's
Yes.
what we do.
Yes.
That's just because they've been flushing too many of them down the toilet at pet stores.
Y'all coming down for the python hunt?
Come on down here for the old python hunting. I tell y'all what. Woo!
We don't talk like that here. Some do.
Well,
some do.
if the ground is squishy where you live, you might.
I mean, that's a fair point. I can't not agree with that.
You ever heard that song by Jerry Reed, Amos Moses? Mm-mm. Oh man, it's good. I'll have to play it for you sometime. I'm not gonna sing it to the audience, so just so you know. But you get a feel for that. Little banjo action. Jerry Reed, by the way, is from Smokey and the Band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The truck
it's
driver.
great guitarist.
So I did bring up real quick only because you brought up Bad Boys 2 and I mentioned it real fast. Hot Fuzz though
Yeah.
is
The-
pretty awesome.
Well, it was
Cop
coming
movie.
off of Shaun of the Dead, and I was like, they put this movie together way too quick. I don't know how good... They must have just had the script lying around, because that movie, I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just
yeah.
they just un-make up to the zombies and put all them as extras.
Yeah, basically. For the greater good.
For the greater good.
For greater good. He's like, that's what he keeps talking about, man. He's like, you ain't seen Bad Boys 2? Oh, he's like, it's going to go off. And he's like, so which... He's like, what did he say? He had another one. He's like, this one or this? He's like...
it was Point Break.
Oh, yeah, Point Break or Bad Boys 2. Or he's like, whichever one he prays. He's like, no, which you want to watch first?
Yeah. Which one you want to watch?
I remember
first?
when they were watching Point Break, he's like, you ever done that? Rolled on your back and just fired your gun into the air? He's
He's
like,
like, ah. It's like, no, I never jumped off the road.
no.
And then he actually does it
Yeah.
later on in the movie. The greater good. I like when he's going to first stay in that inn or whatever, that pub, wherever he was going into. I can't remember if it was where he was staying or if it was the pub as that old lady there. And she's doing the crossword puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like basically insulting each other, but it's from the words that are down there. And all of a sudden she says something, he's like, hag. And she looks up, he's like, 23 down.
3 down.
I just how, like, Simon Pegg is, like, a by-the-books cop from London. He went out to this town in the middle of nowhere. And he was like, well, according to the updated police policy, because they haven't apparently been keeping up with the guidelines, so he's reteaching them everything that he has known. He's like, they're no longer called traffic accidents, they're called collisions. Accidents implies that there's someone that is at fault. He's like, oh, okay.
These must be the Andes. He's like, how'd you guess that? Because they're both named Andrew, sir. Oh, there's nothing going to get by you there, Sergeant Angel. We call them the Andes. Oh, what is he say? Oh, he's because they have the mustaches, and he says something. He's like, everybody's got one. Like who? Farmers. Who else? Farmers' mothers.
Farmers' mothers.
I like Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz is a good movie. Once again, spoilers if you haven't seen a 20-year-old movie. But,
Still good.
yeah.
Just because 28 years old don't make it not good.
Don't make it not true.
Right? I'm pretty sure Mel Brooks has made a career out of movies that stand the test of time like that.
Yes. Oh, Mel.
You glorious bastard.
Well, I guess you could say, True Lies would be the spy version of this, but, you have Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's not a tumor.
He's here with his Führer. He's not a tumor. He's my Führer. He never bite.
Boy, play a game. Who is your daddy and what does he do? My mommy says that my dad is a real sex machine.
Okay. My dad's a gynecologist, and he looks at vaginas all day.
Is that the one where they go penis, 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 vagina, vagina, vagina?
No.
No.
No, that was God, what movie was that from? I'm trying to think. It's a popular one. It's well known. It's like one of those high school movies. I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But no, they wouldn't say that to little kids.
No, well, it's actually the boy stands up. And
Yeah, he's
goes,
very.
and he just stands up. He's like, "What do you have? What do you have to say?" Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, and then just whole class laugh. And that's all. He didn't call on him from nothing.
Yeah,
he's like, "What do you want?" He just wanted to say that out loud.
We didn't talk about one of my favorite. We talked about it during the action movies episode, but Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
That movie is just fan-fucking-tastic. Like, Stallone plays a cop in the far future, but I remember where they call him the Demolition Man because when he does, he just blows shit up. And I remember when he's getting interviewed after rescuing a little girl that was a hostage, and she's like, the reporter's like, how do you justify destroying a $12 million building for a ransom that was only $4 million? And the little girl's like, fuck you, lady. And Stallone was like, good answer.
That is a good answer.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Suck it, Trebek.
And then he gets in trouble and he has to go to cryo prison, and so he gets put more into the future. And then Wesley Snipes, his arch rival, also gets unfrozen and starts taking over the...
Yeah, here's the thing that I don't understand. They unfreeze them for a parole hearing. So there's still a chance that they're going to go right back into the icebox. Like, why the hell? That's one of the plot holes I wanted to answer. Like, why do you have a hearing when he's already just frozen?
Well, they probably want to see if the effects took over. Because don't they test what they basically implant?
No, they don't test it, but I think it's more like in today's
It
society,
actually-
if you go up for parole, you're allowed to be there and state your case yourself.
Right.
So that's probably why they did it.
Yeah, because, I mean, really, how would you judge the parole anyway? Because they've been frozen. It's not like they've been alive in prison. You could see like
exactly.
if they've been under good behavior.
There's nothing that's
like
changed on them.
that. But he comes out and he's like, they give him knitting.
Yeah, they gave Stallone
Yeah.
knitting, but they gave Wesley Snipes kung fu.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I know,
they made
Kung
him Neo.
Yeah. And they made Stallone Miss Daisy.
Yeah, Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Come on.
But still, the three seashells scene is still one of my favorite parts of that movie. He's like, you don't have any toilet paper. You just, where the toilet paper should be, there is just three seashells.
Rob Schneider's just in movies to annoy Sylvester Stallone.
Probably.
That and Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know how to use the three seashells. I could see why that's a problem.
Oh, there's another cop movie, just Judge Dredd. I've seen both the one with Stallone and the one with Carl Urban. I like the one with Carl Urban a lot. Like it's very darker and very grittier compared to the one in Stallone. But Stallone will always hold a special place in my heart.
The Carl Urban one was more based off of the comics. Than
It was more true to form.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
they took a lot of liberties with the Stallone one.
But it was still a fun movie.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
But then the one with Carl Urban, I can only watch every now and again because it is actually so dark and gritty. And I was like, this is kind of uncomfortable to watch a little bit. But if you haven't seen it, Carl Urban's an amazing actor. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
No, you.
Yeah.
What he said.
Twice.
Twice. Twice.
Excuse me.
We can't. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we can't forget the Rush Hour series.
Oh yeah. And I heard they're coming out with a fourth one.
Oh man, they didn't need the third one.
Yeah,
very true.
Just kind of let some
One
of
and
these
two
go.
were great.
And those three movies take over the span of like a week.
Well, no, I think the
Yeah.
third one's supposed to be longer because
It's been so long since I've seen the third
the
one.
third one's supposed to be longer because it's after like he's then Chris Tucker's then got demoted, and like the other girl that Jackie Chan was dating, like she ends up she got demoted, but then got her job back, and it came back and forth. So it was like more time because Soo Young is much older in that one.
Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense because I know the
The
second
first
one.
two are like a week apart. Yeah,
Not even because I think the first one starts right where the first one ends. Like the second one starts with them both just getting on a plane to go back to Hong Kong, and that was like the very end of the first one. And Jackie Chan's like, "I'm going back home." And he's like, "I need a vacation. I'm going with you."
yeah.
So I think those two are only like a day or two apart.
Okay.
Like, I like Chris Tucker, the female bad girl. You know, she's when he finally finishes the fight in the casino. It's like, we could have had something special, but you too damn crazy.
Well, one of the serious moments, like, because he got his ass kicked in the Chris Tucker earlier in the movie. The guy's like, "Here, clean yourself up. You're bleeding." And then when Tucker gets he kills
Finally
him.
shoots him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, "Clean yourself up. You did.
You dead, man."
Well, one thing we can't forget about, even though it's not really cop but detective, and it's more on the. They made it more fun later in other movies, but the Sherlock Holmes series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now they had other ones, but then the ones with Robert Downey and Jude Law, is it?
Jude
Law. Yep.
He was Watson in those movies.
I mean, those actually I enjoyed those.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movies were really good. I will say the show on BBC with Benedict Cumberbatch I think is better. Like I genuinely enjoyed those.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to see that yet.
They're really good. There's only like 4 episodes a season. They're all like 2 hours. Each episode's about 2 hours long.
Okay.
There's about 3 or 4 seasons. So it's really good. You can kill a solid couple of days watching them.
Gotcha. And we can't forget about the couple, buddy movies with dogs in them, like Turner and Hooch, Canine with Jim Belushi, Turner and Hooch with Tom Hanks. They're cop movies. Dogs do a good job.
Yeah. I do remember Turner and Hooch. What was it? There were a couple of scenes that I've seen it once, and I was a kid. Like I was still living in New York, kind of kid. But one scene, like a bad guy gets in Tom Hanks' car and he's like, drive, and he puts on his seatbelt. He's like, "What are you worried about getting into an accident?" And he just speeds into a pole, and the bad guy goes right out the windshield. And then there's another scene where he takes down a bad guy, and Hooch just runs up and grabs his neck. And he's like, "Huh?" And he's like, "If I tell him, he will kill you. Well, why don't we have a chat?"
Yeah, that's why he's getting him to blink. He's like, "All right, once for yes, twice for no."
Yeah.
Yeah. Once, yes, you got it. All right.
You can listen.
But those are the only 2 scenes I remember from Turner and Hooch. I don't believe I saw the other one.
Oh yeah, no, it was good. It was around the time like those were in the 80s and 90s. They were doing like if a movie came out, so they had to make a similar one, just like Armageddon, Deep Impact, stuff like that. So like, I think Turner Hooch came out first.
Before that was first, and then Canine because that was Jerry Lee. Yes, it was supposed to be Jerry Lee Lewis, the dog.
Yeah, yep.
And they did a sequel to Canine Cop.
Yeah, they did like Canine. There's like a few of them. There's Canine 11. There's like Canine something. I mean, he just went. He went with it, man. He's like, you know what? Me and this dog gonna make some money.
Speaking of movies that have terrible other movies with the same kind of premise, would we count Olympus Has Fallen as a cop movie? Because it involves Gerald Butler as a Secret Service agent.
I mean, you could. I'm not gonna say no.
But that also reminded me of White House Down with Channing Tatum, and that movie was bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, the acting was fine, but I mean, it was clearly like they heard that Olympus Has Fallen was coming out, and they're like, "All right, come on, we need a White House terrorism movie."
Yeah.
But one of them got 2 sequels, and the other one, everyone barely remembers. So.
Yeah. We are coming up though. We got a few minutes left, but before we wrap up, so is there any others you want to mention? As always, too, let us know.
Yeah,
because I'm sure
I'm looking at this list.
Some stuff here, or a lot of stuff actually.
Well, we could talk about Sandra Bullock's or 2 of hers, Miss Congeniality.
Oh, okay.
Yep, Undercover.
And also the Heat that she did with Melissa McCarthy.
Yep. And then
speaking of Heat, with Jack Nicholson and Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Hey, don't forget about Serpico. Speaking of Al.
Or you could do Space Cops.
Yeah.
With the MIB.
Yeah.
Here come the men in black.
First 2 were great. The rest of them can fuck off.
Technically, R.I.P.D.
Yeah.
I mean, they are kind of cops. They are policing something.
I think I've talked about this before. I've watched the sequel with
why would you?
With Jeffrey Donovan. It's a prequel. I actually like the prequel a lot better than the first one with Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
I thought this. I mean, it was definitely a lower budget, but I liked it. It was better acting, better coherent story. I liked it.
That's fair. I'll take it.
Or the amazing numbering system of the Naked Gun movies.
Yes. 2.5, 3 1/3.
Yeah. 33 1/3.
Oh, 33 1/3. That's right.
Naked Gun. Naked Gun
Naked
2.5.
How about Team America World Police?
I mean, they are policing the world.
That's true.
Fuck yeah. Here to say
America.
Team America. Fuck yeah.
Here to say
Catch Me If You Can. Tom Hanks playing an FBI agent.
Yes.
I like that with him, and that
Yeah.
was probably one of the last ones of Leo's like baby face.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good movie, and it spawned a great TV show that I guess wasn't allowed to legally say it was based off of that movie, but called White Collar.
Yeah.
Because that show basically starts at the end of the movie, Catch Me If You Can.
Okay.
But I think they weren't allowed to, like, they couldn't get the rights to it, so like they legally couldn't say your name is Frank or your name is whatever Tom Hanks' character was.
But do they imply it's based off the movie?
He was a con artist who got caught. He went to him, and he starts helping the FBI, but he escaped prison to go find his girl. It's basically like it's not very subtle in their homage.
We're not trying to hide what we're doing here.
The only reason why we're not saying it is because we legally can't.
It's against the law, man. It's against the law.
So, Escape from New York is on this list. I wouldn't put this in a cop movie or anything.
No, I wouldn't.
What really good movie, but it doesn't fit the topic that we're talking about.
Yes.
And I even typed in police movies and Escape from, and it's like, for you should watch Escape from New York.
I mean, technically, I think what they're thinking of is because they created it as a prison or as a mock prison, and they were policing it.
Okay,
maybe you can think of it that way, but it really wasn't like like he was a cop. I mean, he was just But hey, what are you gonna do?
And then good on you, Google. Like, that movie is for me. I love that movie. I just don't know if I would classify it as a police movie.
Yeah, I would. But we are about out of time though. So
this one we did forget.
No, go ahead.
Quick shout out for Dragnet.
I was just about to say.
I can't believe I didn't.
That's why.
say
Yeah.
that.
As soon as I saw, I was like, wait a minute. Why did Tony not talk about this?
Now I have to hurt myself later.
And Super
That's my
Troopers.
penance.
And Super Troopers. And
Super
RoboCop.
Troopers. And RoboCop. I was actually gonna bring up RoboCop. I'm like, he's a cop, but he's a robot cop.
And
you could
Dick Tracy.
You could do
Thought that
iRobot
was
where the robots or the cop is hunting the robots.
Yeah.
So it's the robot cop hunting other robots, and then
I'm generally surprised I've seen as many movies as I did for this topic. Going into this time, it's like, I can name a few. I can hold my own. And then looking at this list, like, wow, I've seen like half of these. All right.
Shocked.
Right?
Let me show you my shock face.
Patrick's seen a lot, but we do have to wrap it up though, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us, talking cop / detective / whatever else you want, mystery type movies.
And Lost TV show.
Yes, Lost TV show. TV shows made for movies made for TV shows, the whole gambit. We talked about it all. And there's a lot more we could talk about, so we'll probably have another episode down the road about the same subject.
We're 3 years in, and there's so many episodes that we could easily revisit without touching the same movies we originally talked about.
Yes.
Yeah, we can revisit, not reboot.
Yes.
Yes.
Problem is, we'll have to listen to the original episode and write down the movies we have talked about to make sure we don't talk about them again.
Yes. That's a lot of confusion. Anyway,
Memento, motherfucker.
Yeah. Be sure to check us out on all the social medias.
It works better backwards.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Now we got the videos been going all this year or since July.
This week I don't have an allergy attack. So
and he doesn't have an allergy attack, so
you can actually understand me, and I'm not knocking shit over.
Yes. Yeah, don't break the mic again.
Stop breaking the dang room.
Yeah, drop the mic. But again, just all the listening platforms, Spotify, Anchor, Apple
our
Podcasts,
website,
our website.
Hosted by SoundCloud, I believe. The last 7 episodes, I believe, are up there.
5. Yeah. The 5 newest ones.
We're still on hiatus from the WWDF radio. WDBF radio.
Let me just say that one.
Yeah, go for it.
WDBF radio, WDBF.FM or WDBF.com.
We'll be back in a couple of months on them, hopefully.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a couple months. It probably is at least for the next few weeks, but I will keep updating that. I'll find out and get some updates on that, and then just keep on listening. Check us out. Send some comments. Send that email that Patrick's been waiting for. He will read it. He's not joking.
No,
he's not joking. He will read it. But until you do, for Movie Talks and Chill, we're your hosts. I'm Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
I'm Patrick Wall.
All right, guys, take care.
Keep it